Hello and welcome everybody to the Thailand Championship. It's going to be Group A, the loser bracket final, Mineski versus MiTH Trust in a best of one to see who's going to be number 2 to advance from this group. First departure, they already took down Mineski yesterday to be number 1 to get into the playoffs. So this time around, whoever loses this will be out of the tournament and the winner will reach the playoffs to face up against Team Malaysia. But in any case, we're HeflaTV, the English coverage for you. I'm Coucher and I'm joined by our long-lost caster, MiTH.
Oh man, and what a way to start things off. I mean, I wasn't here yesterday and I missed the previous matches, but right away for me, the first game of the day for me, like personally, is Mineski against MiTH Trust. One of the most anticipated games in this tournament perhaps. And I'm not too sure, but did Mineski go through a little bit of a roster shuffle?
Well, 2 of the players were involved in that scandal of just throwing games. So Chony as well as Fu are the ones standing in for them. Both are Malaysian players, of course. Chony from X-Arrow, or previously from Arrow, now from Chony's Revenge, as well as Fu.
Okay.
So
Is Afu the person who's like on the leaderboard, who's like the expert of Meepo?
he
One of the
might
best
be. I
Meepo
have no
players?
idea. I don't check the leaderboard. So plus, I'm not from Southeast Asia myself, so you have a better idea, I think, of it. But it
I'm
might
hoping
be. It
it's.
probably is. Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be huge. I mean, I would love to see a Meepo being picked, you know? But right now, let's quickly look at the bans and picks. The first ban phase, let's see who actually started. Was it MiTH or was it Mineski?
Mineski had first pick, I want to say.
Alright, Mineski. So they ban out the Brewmaster, Centaur, Warrunner, and instantly picks the Death Prophet. I mean, Death Prophet, since 6.81 to 6.82, he has received various nerfs, such as the Crypt Swarm being nerfed, like the starting damage starting from 100 got nerfed to 75, as well as the ulti, that the cooldown just increases every single patch, and yet it's still a first pick material. And over on the other side, MiTH Trust, they respond by picking up the Viper as well as the Skarath Mage. Skarath Mage on the same page. It's been nerfed several times, but it's still a top tier pick. And indeed, look at MiTH Trust. They banned out the Meepo, so I guess Afu is indeed a person who's incredibly good at Meepo.
Come on, sad life. Why? I've seen so many Meepos panned out. First of all, against Awake, I think it was first departure panning out a Meepo yesterday in the first game of the tournament overall. It's just sad life, no Meepos to be seen. I think actually, never mind, one Meepo might have made it through. Maybe it was another tournament I casted, I'm not even too sure, but a little bit sad, won't see those peak plays. But at the moment...
Well, that's a lot of respect.
Mineski going for the Lich. Lich is usually a hero that is maybe used up against the Death Prophet himself, just to get that extra armor to survive the Exorcism. But Lich overall feels to me like a really popular pick at the moment, at least in this tournament. Why is it so? Is that hero really that strong?
I have no idea, but it does keep your towers alive for a much longer period. And like with the increase of like just having multiple glyphs as soon as your tier 1 towers fall, it might have something to do with it, just to drag out the game even longer. I mean, in Chinese, there's a new saying about 6.82 patch. They call it 庞光菊, and what that directly translates is into English, it actually means bladder games, which means like whichever team has a stronger bladder is going to end up winning because games drag on for such a long period of time. And just looking at this patch, some of the strongest heroes that I've seen personally is definitely like Phantom Assassin. That hero just seems to wreck everybody. And another that comes to mind is Husker. I mean, you saw Husker firsthand yesterday as well.
Well, it did win, so I'm happy about that. Of course, there was even another Husker before that who lost as well. So, 2 Huskers have in hand. 1 win, 1 loss. 50% win rate. Not too bad, to be honest, but I would still like to see more of it, especially up against heavy magical damage lineups. I mean, I guess Earthshaker can provide a decent amount of physical, but whoa, Anti-mage 3rd pick. I just feel like it's maybe a little bit too early to pick up the Anti-mage at the moment.
Oh, the AM. That's actually one of what MiTH Trust's signature heroes, right? I mean, they used to love running, say, the Batrider, Morphling, as well as Anti-mage, but Mineski seems like they're going to return the favor and be like, we're going to be the ones showing you how to play Anti-mage. Oh man, this is pretty cool.
Well, I'm still not overly convinced about the need to pick it up this early into the draft. Just gives MiTH maybe a little bit more time to get some silences, maybe some just proper stuns locked down to actually make sure he does die. Of course, having the spell shield definitely going to be beneficial up against, well, pretty much everything that MiTH has so far. Viper, not a huge threat with just his right clicks, the physical damage. So, Anti-mage, not a bad pick in theory, but of course, it might end up being a little bit too greedy depending on how MiTH are just deciding to lane this.
Yeah, it does feel like with the Skarath Mage as well as an Earthshaker, Anti-mage is going to struggle somewhat, and if MiTH Trust, they decide to pick up, say, a Phantom Assassin, well, AM's is going to have an even harder time. And right now, if we notice, Mineski was with their first 3 picks actually don't have any reliable lockdowns, and they have no good ways of initiating a fight. And this might hinder how they're going to be playing this match. But what I personally think about whenever I see a Lich is the possibilities of dual lanes happening. So are we going to have, say, a dual mid Lich plus Anti-mage, or perhaps, say, Weaver, just a Lich plus somebody in a dual offlane position? Let's see who's still left in the draft. Some of the most popular offlaners have been banned. Centaur, Tidehunter, Doom. Well, what's still left? Timbersaw is pretty good in this patch, but with Mineski's lineup, and if they do offer a Timbersaw, first of all, it's gonna get in some trouble running into the Skarath Mage, and second of all, even less lockdowns, virtually 0.
Well, Timbersaw, I guess they could go for it. Although Clockwork is available, even Faceless Void is still there. Although if you're Mineski, you don't want to go for Anti-mage and Faceless Void, I think. Death Prophet does synergize decently enough, as well as the Lich with the Faceless Void, but they're going for Rubick at the moment. Gonna have a pretty nice amount of spells to steal. First of all, getting the Viper Strike from the Viper, Weaver, Sukuchi, and just stealing anything from an Earthshaker is good as well, to be honest. Well, maybe not Enchant Totem, although that can have its uses as well. But Magnus, the last ban from MiTH. I was kind of hoping for the Magnus. Just huge mana voids from Anti-mage, getting extra cleave from the power, of course, as well. But not to be.
And it's interesting to see the 4th picks on both sides. So MiTH Trust, they notices Mineski don't have any good lockdowns, so they pick the Weaver. But Mineski responds with a Rubick, which is one of the perhaps best heroes to have against the lineup that MiTH Trust has. Because first of all, Viper Strike, that's so easy to steal. And then you have the Sukuchi, that's also a great spell for Rubick, so that Rubick can get easy initiation, even without the Blink Dagger. So it's a little bit of a mind game, both teams picking to each other's strengths and weaknesses. And now the final pick for MiTH Trust, we have the Nature's Prophet.
Well, Nature's Prophet definitely gives them some form of aggression, or just kind of a way to end this game a little bit earlier than otherwise it might have ended. And to be honest, MiTH Trust now, with the Nature's Prophet, somebody to also go for a Hex, for example, try to deal with the Anti-mage, maybe get the Death Prophet down before he activates his BKB or Exorcism or something like that. And just Weaver, Nature's Prophet, and a Viper. MiTH Trust, I think so far at least, looking at Mineski's lineup, MiTH, they won't be too bad off when it even comes to the late game, really.
Yeah, and the problem with Anti-mage is he needs time, and I'm not sure if this is a game where he's going to get the time necessary. Anti-mage, traditionally, he's going to get Battle Fury roughly around the 14-minute mark, and continues to get progress in levels and farm. And around 20-minute mark, you might see the Manta style. But with the setup that MiTH Trust has, they might just run an aggressive trialing with Skarath Mage, Earthshaker, as well as the Weaver. And what's to stop them from doing so? If they do go aggressive and they do run into the Anti-mage, there's virtually no chance for survival for Team Mineski. And with the last pick, Clockwork, that's a pretty good pick up against heroes such as Nature's Prophet, Viper, as well as Earthshaker. These are the heroes that don't have good escape mechanisms, and well, if they're cogged, they might just end up dying.
Oh god, this... To be honest, I really like what MiTH did with the draft at the moment, and if they're going for an aggressive tri lane, I'm gonna be an even bigger fan of this. Just shut down the Anti-mage, and Rubick, definitely not the best hero to just... I guess defensively is good enough with the telekinesis, but doesn't really add any power to the tri lane himself. As well as, of course, the Lich, kind of a passive laner as well, especially if they should go for dual lanes. So I really like how MiTH have gone about this, but looking at the lanes so far, Mineski might just be a dual mid lane like you expected, just Lich and Anti-mage.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I guess I'm just going to quickly take this time and introduce some of the players. So over on MiTH Trust, we have an aggressive trialing setup from Locales, playing the Weaver, SD going to be playing... Yeah, it's SD gonna be playing the Scarith Mage, and we have Nokimon playing as the support Earthshaker. Over at the mid lane, it's probably gonna be MyPro playing as mid solo Viper. I mean, he's already got all the stats, and he's got the pull tangos, so that's most likely where he's gonna be going. And down at bottom, we're gonna have question mark playing as the safe lane solo Nature's Prophet.
I think it should be KYT, if I remember the MiTH lineup correctly. KYT, I think, used to be their offlaner, or should be, so I think it's KYT, but in any case, for Mineski on the dark side, Johnny will be playing the Anti-mage, leaving Cheshivash to play the Lich to support him, with 5593 OVA on the Rubick, leaving, oh god, I think it's JJ on the Death Prophet, and the last one will be Fu on the Clockwork.
Ah, okay, so let's see how the lanes are going to progress. So indeed, Mineski is going to be running a dual mid. Well, maybe, because we have Oa standing mid as well. And both sides seems like it's going to be a 2-on-2 at mid. And Johnny, he's going to be struggling mightily against the power of the Viper plus Scarith Mage.
Oh god, it's going to be such a bad lane. At the very least, they will have that sacrifice working with the Lich, denying one creep every creep ever. So actually, Death Prophet taking a lot of harassment already. A few right clicks from a kill, Sukuchi as well as the Fisher coming out. So Death Prophet not gonna get too much done up against the dual lane probably. Although, oh god, KYT is gonna have to be so careful. If Clockwork hits that level 2, gets the power cogs as well as the battery assault, especially if Rubick should rotate in as well, should be an easy kill really.
Oh man, just waiting for the first blood to happen. And if we notice, the Furion actually only summoned one Treant, so this might be a little bit problematic, especially when his Nature's Call still on cooldown for another 15 seconds. Rubick's in place, he's coming over right now.
Oh, they're just waiting for it. They're going for some right clicks. Battery assault does hit some creeps as well, but should be a really easy first blood. Although Fu taking way too much damage in return, I have to say. But still, first blood is drawn. He has a healing self, 7 tangos as well. Gonna be just fine. Maybe I'm gonna pick up a bottle because nowadays, well, runes spawn on both sides.
So interesting enough, like MiTH Trust, though they seem like they have the stronger lanes, but Mineski made extremely good predictions of how things are supposed to be going, and ends up getting the first blood on the Nature's Prophet. And that might be pretty big, considering just how hard they're struggling in the mid lane.
To be honest, Nature's Prophet, it's really important to get a kill there as well, just because if Nature's Prophet gets off to a good start, gets those nice early levels, he can be that third hero into the mid lane, and yes, it's going to be hard to kill off an Anti-mage because he has Blink, but Lich should be really an easy target if they get the slow going on him. Nature's Prophet TP in as well, and oh, not only that, Nokiman with the Invis rune. Actually, he got the solo kill onto the Death Prophet, something I didn't really expect to happen, but Noki on the Earthshaker, he's getting enough mana for the Fisher just now. Chesivash, if he gets even slightly out of position, he's just gonna go down. But bottom lane, they're gonna go on to KYT again. Should be an easy kill really. They still have the telekinesis, they're gonna use it as well. Power cogs comes out. And even Chonni just blinks in to get the XP and gold.
Oh, they might have a little bit of a lane switch. Johnny can't find any farm at mid. With only 2 last hits, and we're closing in on the 3rd minute mark, right? This is horrible. A horrendous start, and they might just leave the Lich at mid. And since down at bottom, they've gotten multiple kills on the Nature's Prophet, they might just want to think about...
Death Prophet! The Fisher, no, he's waiting for it. He actually won't land it. There's the Silent Sprout comes out as well. He just eats his way through. That, I don't know why they didn't go for the Fisher immediately. They're still gonna dive. There's the Fisher coming out. They only need a few more right clicks. But Lakel's, he's so low on mana. He doesn't have a magic stick, anything. Johnny, he blinks in. Lakel's completely out of mana now. Another Crypt Swarm. Johnny, he gets the counter kill in SD. Scarif Mage, can he escape? He has the tangos to eat his way through. Is somebody tanking up the tower? Of course there it is. It's an entire creep wave, but Johnny getting the kill onto Lakel's like that, it's definitely just favoring MiTH. And oh, they might get Nature's Prophet again. Clockwork, the rocket flare comes through. One more right click, the Fisher. Oh my god, Johnny. Blink on cooldown, no mana. Nature's Prophet actually makes it out with 20 HP.
Oh wow, what a close call for Nature's Prophet right there. Just one more right click would have done the job, but
sadly... might get chased down from Lakel's. The Sukuchi is level 2, but I think it still might be enough. Is he gonna go aggressive? Yes, he is. There's the Sukuchi. Will get the kill. Johnny can't really do much about it. Even gonna trade some right clicks. Mana break. It's level 2 as well. Lakel's. I guess mana burn is good enough. But in the meantime, MyPro gets a kill as well in the mid lane. 4 minutes in, we're already at the kill score of 4-4.
Wow, this is some extremely aggressive Dota coming up from both sides. MiTH Trust, they want to dominate the early game. They want to gain full control. Yet Mineski just starts rotating around the map, creating havoc all across all 3 lanes. And down at bottom, look at it. We started out with the Nature's Prophet up against the Clockwork. Now we have a laning Skywrath Mage up against almost a level 6 Clockwork. So this bottom lane has become extremely dangerous for MiTH Trust. Who can they really send down here? Maybe a Weaver, but if Weaver eats too many Paragogs, he might just run out of mana again.
There's so much mana drain potential coming out from Mineski. First of all, mana break from Anti-mage, then the power cogs. Of course, power cogs won't be maxed out for a long time still. Most Clockworks just max out Battery Assault and then Rocket Flare after that. But speaking of the Clockwork, he has his hookshot ready. And does he carry a TP? Yes, he does. So he's going to be ready to just counteract any kind of aggression.
Yeah, and this mid lane Anti-mage played by Johnny, it's very reminiscent of how plays him from newbie. Because just look at him. He's been rotating all over the map, even though he's only gotten 1 kill and no assist. But it does feel like he has an early game impact as opposed to most carry heroes. And look at top, the Earthshaker might be a little bit over trouble. Nope, he's out of range. Yeah, Rubick can't get the lift. But I mean, just look at the TPs. And that's partially due to the fact that Johnny just can't farm against Viper, as simple as that. But with the early TP, it allows him to make rotations happen. To save teammates or to get counter kills.
Oh man, to be honest, we got the 4 kills for both sides 2 minutes ago already. Suddenly, there are no kills anymore. Both teams seem to have taken a more passive route, of course. Mineski, they need the farm on both Johnny as well as the Death Prophet as well. They're just getting nothing done, and MyPro, he went for the poison attack max as well. Do you think, or which build do you think usually is the best on Viper, or is it really dependent on just what you're up against?
I always felt it was somewhat better to max out the first skill, but of course, it's always great to be able to vary what you need to learn. In mid lane, it seems like they're gonna have a go on MyPro.
Oh, the cogs! Just nowhere to go anymore. Viper, one of those heroes that if you get caught in the cogs, all you can really hope for is maybe a counter kill, but Battery Assault is just so disruptive as the mini-stun. So really nice and important pickoff here as well. MyPro, he was the highest farmer in the game before this. So huge pickoff there, Clockwork making good use of his first rotation, although hookshot wasn't even necessary for that. So they might even go for SD.
This is way better than I expected from Mineski. I mean, you really have to say they're making great rotations, and this whole idea of a Rubick lifting people into the cogs. I mean, it's pretty old school, but it's working magic for them. This Rubick early game.
SD, he shows himself for a second. But the TP's coming as well, it's Lakels. So they should be safe. Lakels level 4 Sukuchi as well. Noki, he's gonna come in. Who's gonna find Ufu? Might be in trouble. Hookshot into the Nature Prophet, but no cogs. Ancient Seal prevents that. Fisher comes out as well with the Sprout. Come on, cogs. Cogs not gonna go for it at all. He was dead anyway. Should have just thrown them out. Get some mana burn maybe as Ova TP's away from Noki.
That was a beautiful Fisher.
Just excellent block really coming out. Still, I would have liked to see the cogs anyway. Clockwork knew he won't be able to escape if he goes for the cogs, but he wasn't able to escape anyway. Just look at the creep wave now as well. It's the double creep wave with the siege creep and the 3 ends.
Yeah, I mean, this is what most good teams do. They do a single pull when they have a catapult, and now you have 2 creep waves plus a lot of 3 ends pushing into the tower. And look at just how fast this tier 1 tower is going down, even with the Lich's Frost armor as well as the glyph. And this might just be the first tier 1 tower of the game. And we're gonna see how MiTH, they're gonna use this to their advantage and just slowly gain more and more map control.
Map control is just so important overall, especially since usually if you're running something like an Anti-mage or Naga Siren that needs that core farming item, Battle Fury for the Anti-mage, Radiance for Naga Siren for example, you usually would like to push the early towers as well, which might be why the Prophet was picked up. As Clockwork, he just went for TP and cancelled it immediately. Don't know what that was all about, but you would like to get the towers, but if MiTH are the ones applying all the pressure and getting the map control, Mineski won't even most likely be able to push past the river at some point.
Yeah, and this is pretty interesting from the Nature's Prophet, opting to scale level 2 into teleport instead of, say, maxing Nature's Call first. This is... I guess this has to be the reason. I mean, they are fighting so much, and here's a hook! Afu, he gets MyPro, he's gonna be in a little bit of a trouble. There's so many supports right behind him, but the Chain Frost comes out. How many times is it gonna bounce? It bounces onto 2 heroes, 3 heroes. And right now, is it over yet? No, it's not. Johnny, he's gonna start chasing, question mark, question mark. Holds on to the Mana Void and slowly ends up retreating.
So once again they get the kill onto MyPro before he finishes his mech. If he had this mech, it would be so much harder to actually get that kill. And he would have been able to get the counter onto Clockwork as well with the double damage that he had. But look at Clockwork as well. He went for the first item, or is going for the Blade Mail build. So he's going to be able to just kind of tank it up in the front lines, go Cork somebody and make it so that the guy who is caught, he's going to be completely trapped. He can't even go for the counter damage into the Clockwork unless he wants to damage himself. But MiTH, they don't really care about the pickoffs, they're just going for another tower.
Wow. I love the Blade Mail pickup. It's one of the best items you can get in this particular game. As soon as the Viper Strike comes out, there's no way of cancelling. Same with Skarath Mage's ultimate, right? You throw it, it's going out. There's no way of holding it back. And Skarath, he's such a paper hero compared to a Clockwork. And it might just end up being an easy kill for the Clockwork.
Oh,
here's the hook.
Is it an easy kill onto the Earthshaker instead? It probably is. Battery Assault already activated, but there's the Mystic Flare into the Blade Mail, at least for the most part. Maybe Death Prophet, he can get the counter, but Lakels, he's going to clean up Death Prophet in return. Maybe Fu as well. Cogs on cooldown for another 3 seconds. Lakels gets the time lapse away. And suddenly he's on the run himself. But a 2-for-1. Tier 1 of course did go down as well, so still slightly favoring MiTH since they only lost their supports. But this Clockwork, he really is the one keeping his team in play.
Yeah, that was the perfect demonstration of what I was just talking about, right? I mean, we saw what happened to the Skarath Mage as soon as he decides to throw out his ultimate, right? He just drops that Blade Mail. And, well, I'm loving the item choices coming out. There's also something else I was looking towards, but I've somewhat forgotten, and I guess... Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to say. This is going to be a beautiful game for Rubick. He has hit level 6, he's stolen Tsukuchi. He can easily go in, steal the Tsukuchi, and steal whatever else he needs, right? I mean, you can never go wrong with the Viper. He only has the Viper Strike. So you're going to be getting the Viper Strike guaranteed. You're going to be easily getting the Tsukuchi, because you're not going to be really wanting to get Time-Lapse or Crypts or the Swarm. And, I mean, that's what Weaver is going to be using 90% of the time. Just that constant Tsukuchi. So you don't even need a Blink Dagger for this game. So you can start using that money to tank up, or even get an Aghanim Scepter. Imagine the possibilities of a Rubick with Aghanim Scepter.
Well, there's not too much to steal, I guess. But of course, like you said, Viper Strike, 100% guaranteed steal for the Rubick. And with an Aghanim Scepter, 12-second cooldown. But mid lane, they want to go for Johnny. Can they get the Ancient Seal off? Yes, they can. There's the Fisher as well. Mystic Flare gonna be used a little bit late in the end, though. They get the kill anyway. Just Johnny having such a sad time. He did go for the broadsword before he died at the very least, so he's halfway through his Battle Fury. And he would like to have just so much more.
Yeah, his team needs to find a way to create space. I mean, it's not really a full protect one in the sense that they do have a Death Prophet scaling into late game as well. But just look at the farm on Death Prophet as well. It's pretty tragic to look at it. He only has Phase Boots, a Null Talisman, Magic Wand, and a TP Scroll. And normally at this point, you would want the Death Prophet to have at least have Yules.
Oh god, this... Is he... Can he... Yeah, never mind, he's gonna go for Yules anyway. I've seen some Death Prophets, for example, go for straight off BKB, which... I mean, I can understand the need for BKB in some games, but I just think Yules is such a great item. Not only does it give you extra movement speed and the ability to just save yourself from some certain spells, you can also stop TPs, and I think for Death Prophet it's a really important just ability to have. Otherwise you can't really chase down, or not reliably chase down people with Exorcism usually. So I just love Yules on that hero.
Oh man. For Mineski, there is just so much resting on the shoulders of this Clockwork. He needs to create space. Yet, there are so many heroes he needs to focus on. There's a Nature's Prophet. I mean, MiTH, they're running a Tricore as well. They have all these heroes who are strong from the laning stage, from the get-go. They can lane, they can carry, they can do everything. They scale well into the late game. And you have an Anti-mage who's going to be up against these 3 big badasses. And he just needs so much items. He needs to be ahead. And right now, that's just not the case. Anti-mage, say we give him a 6-slot Anti-mage, he might not even able to beat the combined power of, say, a Viper plus a Weaver. Let alone, say, a Nature's Prophet just constantly TPing in and hexing him up unannounced.
Oh wow, this game at the moment, MiTH, they are looking extremely good. Of course, Mineski, they will have the Anti-mage, you can never really count out that hero. But that's usually when he already has the Battle Fury. If he gets the Battle Fury, yes, he can just get sick amounts of farm, but when is he gonna get that Battle Fury, and is it gonna be fast enough? Since Lakels, I guess the Weaver isn't farming too good. He's still number 1 in net worth, don't get me wrong or anything, but he's not gonna get like the fastest ever Lincoln Sphere or anything. But it's still just looking so ridiculously good for MiTH at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, everything is relative, right? I mean, in some games, it's considered fast. In some games, it's considered slow. Right now, he has a Perseverance and 1,000 gold on top. Sure, he's going to have a 22-minute Lincolns. That's still going to be better than the Anti-mage. Look at the Anti-mage. He doesn't even have boots. So you're saying he's halfway to battle free, but we're looking at 12 minutes in with no boots. And sure, you've got Blink. That's a great spell. Don't get me wrong, but how long is it going to be before he starts upgrading his items, starts catching up, doing the flash farming that he usually does? And he's always in constant fear of being caught, even with the Battlefield alone. He can't stand to the prowess of, say, Earthshaker plus a Skyrath Mage. These two are support heroes, and they can nuke you down so freaking easily with the, say, support of a Nature's Prophet, or even without. Just because, look at how fragile this Anti-mage is right now. 739 HP, 12 minutes in. Sure, you've got a little bit of a better magic resistance than most heroes, but it's not going to keep you alive.
Unfortunately, no. Maybe if there wasn't an Ancient Seal coming out from the Skyrath Mage, so could they actually blink out. Since apart from the Ancient Seal, they really only have the Earthshaker for the lockdown. But Ancient Seal is plenty to deal with the Anti-mage, or at least we saw that like 1 minute ago when Johnny got ganked in the mid lane. So I'm just hoping that the pause won't last all that long. But so far MiTH, they're doing everything correct. They're getting the kills. They're keeping the Anti-mage down. They're also getting the towers at the same time. All the tier 1s have been destroyed already, whereas Mineski, not a single one is down. Bottom tier 1, rather low in health. Others, I guess the top lane almost down to half HP as well. I would just like to see Death Prophet use the Exorcism for something.
Yeah, that would be pretty good if they can actually... Well, right now, it just feels like they're avoiding MiTH Trust as a team, and they're trying to find pickoffs. They feel like they can't have a head-on fight. And this gets me thinking a little bit. If, say, Johnny had gone for Treads first, instead of, say, rushing a Battle Fury, then he might have been able to participate a little bit more in, say, the chasing, or, like, going after kills, or helping out his team. Because this is a game where, right now, they're stuck. 2 of the cores need to farm. But the other 3 just can't kill people that easily without, say, the entire team. Everybody seems to need to commit to something. And Anti-mage, right now, he wants to farm. And we look at the Death Prophet. He's not taking up. He's going for the Yules, which means he wants to farm as well. And that just, it feels like all the pressure is on the other 3 right now. Jesse Vash, Aful, and Owa. And this is just going to be so taxing on the supports. Because look at it, Weaver is pushing out on top. Viper is going to be close to completing his mech. And he has a haste rune as well. And Nature's Prophet, he's always going to be here and there all the time. It's going to be relatively hard to catch all 3 of the cores at the same time.
Oh, it's just... Mineski, can they, for example, go for Roshan maybe? They have the Ice Armor to tank it up a little bit. Clockwork should be tanky enough. Going for those power treads next, has the Belt of Strength already, unless it's going to be turned into a Necro Book. But can they go for Roche even? It's not like they have the craziest amount of damage. Exorcism definitely is good, but they don't have minus armor or anything.
Yeah, Exorcism alone right now, a level 1 Exorcism is a little bit hard. If they want to go for the Roshan, they should wait till Death Prophet it's at least level 11. But the question is, how are you going to get to level 11? With the way this game is progressing, right now you see like Weaver, he sits on the top lane. How many people do you need to commit to take him down? Anti-mage won't do it alone. Rubick, he can lift, but that's not going to kill the kills. And who else do we have? Death Prophet, the silence is pretty good, but where's the follow-up damage? To kill the Weaver alone, the Clockwork has to be committed. That's almost a given, to keep him inside the cog so he can't just run away with the time lapse. But what do you have to follow up to kill him? It feels like every hero you want to kill, you need to commit at least 3 people. And look at the Viper as well. Right now, Viper is even tankier than the Weaver. Sure, he doesn't have time lapse. He's got haste rune. Once he completes a mech, his effective HP is just going to be significantly higher. He's going to get bonus armor as well from the mech. So it feels like you want to kill a guy, you need just so many people there to kill one guy. But the moment you're killing that one person, everybody's happily farming on the other side. Or they're already they're backing up and they're standing behind the person you're engaging upon. And you might just jump into a trap.
It's definitely true that they have to just commit so many heroes if they want to get a kill. But at the very least, MiTH, the Viper's mech isn't all that fast. Sometimes you see them like 8-9 minutes in. Of course, he went for power threads before as well. But once he gets that mech, it's going to be just infinitely harder almost. Unless they can somehow mana drain the Viper before he can activate the mech. It's definitely possible with an anti-mage with level 3 mana break. But does an anti-mage really want to jump or blink into the fight like that? And oh, somebody's finally asking something. I was hoping to get some kind of information. Hopefully they will answer them as well.
Wouldn't it be great if we were actually at the LAN event and we can just see, oh, what's going on? Ah, so they're actually restarting the PC.
I guess so,
that's
man.
interesting.
Fun times. We can look at the graphs as well now, as we're paused anyway. So it's a 4,000 or just about 4,000 net worth lead for MiTH. XP is only a 60 XP lead and for Mineski. So XP is zeroed out at the very least. Mineski not doing all that bad for levels. I guess just the kill score being even has most to do with this. And the Earthshaker not finding too much, but just early on net worth is so important. If you can get maybe the mech finished, for example, with that 4k net worth lead, maybe get a blink onto somebody. If I guess Earthshaker needs the blink, the only one really to go for that on MiTH. Maybe Nature Prophet along the way as well, but Earthshaker is nowhere close to it.
Well, he's gone for Tranquil Boots, so I don't know. Is he going to be going for a Soul Ring to couple with that? Or is that solo Arcane Boots on the Skywrath Mage enough to carry them?
It might be, and Earthshaker might just go for the Soul Ring, which usually you go for maybe like Soul Ring first even before the Tranquil Boots. It really depends on how much farm you're going to get. Solo Arcane Boots though, I just think Earthshaker, if he doesn't go for the Soul Ring and goes for straight out Blink Dagger, he's gonna be struggling for mana so much. And whoa, no Meepone? Aw, no Meepone.
Oh man, so he is definitely, he has to be the guy who's been on the leaderboard since forever, always pretty much lingered around the top 10. So people have a lot of respect for his Meepo. Most likely all these high tier players have ran into his Meepo from time to time, and it's made an impact on them. And it's made a lasting impression to the point where they say, hey, you are not going to be playing any Meepo in this tournament. Everybody's just going to ban it. Goddamn
Meepos. Or Meepo players that are known to play the Meepo as good and often. It's just almost always fun to see Meepo in play, to be honest. Although the last Meepos I've seen have been just completely gotten wrecked. Pretty much is the correct way to put it. So it's not as easy that just, oh, like we have a good Meepo player and it's going to totally work out for us. You're going to have to protect the Meepo, create space for him, because he's not that great until he just gets his Aghanim Scepter or Blink, whichever one you want to go first. So I guess that's mostly the case with many or most core heroes as well. So just overall, you can't rely on just one player being really good with one hero. You're going to have the team supporting him.
Yeah, indeed. And it's kind of funny as well, looking at the patches. 6.82, when the patch just first came out, Meepo took such a hit. Because the way Meepo works is he excels at farming and gaining levels extremely fast. Because each individual Meepo gains like individual XP. So if you have a huge team fight, you wipe if you wipe the opponent's entire team, you end up stealing more than half of your team's XP if everybody was present, because each individual Meepo counts as a hero. And so you scale extremely fast. So by, say, level... you might get level 25 in, say, 18 minutes or so. And when you're such high level, and with the rubber banding included, the moment somebody kills your Meepo, right, they suddenly level up tenfolds. It's ridiculous. And it's so hilarious. You're looking at, say, a bunch of supports, right? Like level 6, level 7, 20 minutes into the game. And then they end up killing, say, a level 18 Meepo and then just bounce to level 14, level 15. Something like that, you know?
That's why maybe a lot of teams do not like to play the Meepo as well. First of all, you have to get a good start on that hero. But if you get a good start, exactly what you said might happen. You get like picked off once and suddenly so much XP is given away, maybe on gold on top of that as well. And yeah, people are joining it like, come on guys. This pause really has been going on for a pretty long time. usually PC restarts, at least not the PCs that they're having there. Those PCs should be just absolute machines, beasts.
Yeah.
How long can the restart take?
I have no idea. This is this is a little bit. I don't know. You want to promote the PCs, right? At the place, I mean, with all the banners and whatnot, and then the PCs are failing. Ouch.
Man, you told me to get
money.
Asus PC. I don't think so after this LAN.
Oh dear God. Well, I'm on a Asus laptop right now, and it's working great. I can stream. I can do all kinds of things. I can even stream The Evil Within. Oh man, that game! I almost shit my pants. It was freaking scary, and I couldn't get past chapter 4. I mean, had enough. It's like I don't mind watching other people. Oh, okay. So let's see what the chat is saying right now. Johnny used blade mail, bully me, huh? Yeah, I always wish like when the games are paused, the players can talk a little bit more, so we can just like follow the chat.
Can you send your blade mail? That would be sick. It's like, yeah, sure, for you, no problem.
It's like, well, you gotta do me some services. Let me win the game. Sure, I'll sell it. Or I'll meet you back at my hotel.
If he actually did sell his blade mail at the moment, then there would be like no discussion even if it's a throw or not, I think.
Well, right now, MiTH Trust with their lead, Scarth Mage might as well just tank up a little bit and then go for a blade mail of his own and be like, bring it. Bring it. You got blade mail? I got it too, son.
I'm not too sure if you saw the game or I've guessed the game where it's Tinker versus Pugna. Tinker goes for blade mail to screw over the Pugna's death ward, or nether ward rather. And Pugna goes for counter blade mail. It was so sick. Like Tinker, he literally activated the blade mail and just started activating and cancelling his ultimate. And Pugna popped his blade mail in return as well. It was so ridiculous to watch.
Oh man, this pause is taking quite some time. Well, just out of curiosity, just wondering, how many of the viewers, as well as you, Catcher, did any of you guys watch, say, the Old Men versus VG today? It's it's been a lot of interesting drafts with like Rikimaru, Drow Ranger, let's see what else, Phantom Assassin, all in one lineup, and I don't think that worked out for them. And right now, it seems like they're starting to play around with Pudge as well.
So I'm guessing Old Men are going for those strats and VG are crushing them?
Yeah, because it's not really a strat, it's more like a pub game. You pick what you want to play. Okay, so Bernie wanted to play Drow Ranger, he picks the Drow Ranger. And RTK, he wants to play Clockwork, he plays the Clockwork. And this other person,
these kind of show matches to me are just pointless. Yes, you're going for some... If both teams are going for it, then maybe it can be fun, but... is VG still drafting just standard?
No. The first game, they had no carry. It was a Black's Keeper of the Light carry. Believe it or not. And,
well, I guess it can be some fun, but I just don't see a real point to it because it's not like they're showcasing their skill or anything. It's just kind of a throw fest.
Well, you kind of are showcasing your skill when your Keeper of the Light is 7 kills, 0 death, and 8 assists, right? Well, but I understand your point. I mean, sure, it's great that all these famous players are coming back into the scene and just playing games. But it's so pubbish to the point where it's not even like a pub, whereas it's just like a bunch of pros fooling around, you know. Let's just do this stupid thing, let's do that thing. They had, what was it? Let's see. They had, I think, Lena, Enchantress, Ancient Apparition, Keeper of the Light, and something else fragile. It was just an all fragile lineup. But yeah, it just completely wrecked. It was so great. But look at this game, man. The pauses are forever. I mean, if this happened in a pub game, somebody would be like flaming and unpausing and be like,
yeah, there wouldn't be a pause this long, period.
This would never happen. It'd be like one team trying to pause for that one guy who's disconnected, and another team would just be spamming F9 and be like, let's get the game going. Let's get the rank up, you know? Our MMR is gonna soar after this game because that guy just didn't come back. Almost said the C word, but anyways, that's how usually it goes in Southeast Asia, you know?
I think that's almost how it always goes. Anywhere when people are just leaving and not reconnecting or something.
Oh, that's true. But I mean, talking about the flaming, and it's always funny when you see all the different languages that gets used. Like sometimes you don't even understand half of them, but they do come out, and it's just like these guys are saying their language, those guys are saying their language, and both sides are flaming each other while not really understanding each other, but like to the point where you see it often enough that you actually get a general feeling of it, you know.
So, looking at this game, just before the pause happened, Mineski they smoked up, I think, with all 5 of them. Never mind Johnny, he was left out of the smoke. But where do you think the 4 of them will go, and do you think they'll find their success wherever they go?
If the Rubick can lift the Viper into the cogs, then yes. But if he doesn't get the Viper into the cogs, well, Viper's got Hasten, and he's just gonna run away. So I think it largely comes down to the chaining of spells. And it feels like Johnny, he's gonna go Lone Wolf style. He wants to be Chuck Norris, you know? Like, sure, I got no items, but I'm Chuck Norris. I'm just gonna wreck you, son.
Oh god. So,
He doesn't need no smoke.
at the moment, this game officially sucks donkey balls. Like, why? Why? I feel like, I'm not too sure, I can't guarantee it, how long this pause has actually lasted for, but I'd like to say that we've had more pause than game time by now.
Yeah, I mean, the pause is definitely longer than the game itself. Just wondering, are we gonna have a load? If we do have a load, this time, because load usually happens, say, a minute beforehand, right? So, are they gonna be smoking up again, but this time with Johnny included, or he's still gonna go into his farming mode and let his team do the rest?
I love in chat, this is fucking normal in Southeast Asian servers, deal with it.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, whenever people flame, it's always kind of funny. So, I mean, I'm never offended. Like, it's a game, guys. If you take it lightly, then it's alright. If you take it extremely seriously, like it's gonna be your lifetime career, then sure, I mean, by all means. But ultimately, you don't gain anything from flaming, like, and you don't really lose anything either. Well, sure, you lose face and you lose in your integrity, but who cares? It's a game. And that's part of the problem as well, right? I mean, because it's a game, people have all these internet identities, and they're never gonna get caught in real life 90% of the time, anyways. They feel free to just do whatever they want, say whatever they want, and not really care. And I'm one of those guys as well.
You love raging then, right?
Oh no! I don't like to rage. I like to talk shit. I mean, why not? I mean, the thing is, I never start the conversation. You know, when people flame me, then I just flame them back, and for fun. But if they get mad, then sure, I'll probably continue.
Well, I mean,
because it's funny.
I think it's okay to troll them back, but flaming and trolling are different things.
And yeah, I mean, okay, sure. If you want to put it that way, okay. I understand what your point. And I guess another interesting point is different regions. It feels like they have particular affinity to certain things.
Reconnect.
Oh dear God, sweet.
Oh my god! Finally, guys! Yes! Yes, praised be the Lord! And just we'll see what the outcome of the smoke will be. They're not even going into the enemy jungle. They're just like, yeah, guys, go for the kills. And to be honest, even if they get the kills, yes, it's all well and good. But rotating 4 heroes for it, whereas the rest of MiTH are still farming at the same time, is it even gonna be worth it? And what? Some indecision coming out just because Lakel's left the lane?
Well, Johnny might die here, actually. Let's see if the wards are actually going to protect him. And indeed, they do. So Johnny's going to be retreating up, and his teammates realize they've made the wrong move, chasing tails in their own jungle. So they're going to rush towards mid. Oh, is this Sukuchi? Oh, Sukuchi, is he going to be able to catch? Question mark. He sees the guy, yet nothing nothing happens out of it.
Oh god. This smoke gank. Epic fail. As even MiTH, they're just keeping on farming, and do you think they're just waiting for the mech to come out on MyPro and then go aggressive, start forcing the tier 2s as well, or should they stay back and farm? What's the game plan for MiTH here?
For MiTH, probably looking for the next set of core items. So we look at SD, he's gotten the Arcane Boots, so that's a pretty good start for a pushing lineup. And then you've got the Earthshaker, so he's definitely going for Soaring. He's not going to have any mana issues from then on. And then the Viper, if you want to push, you want that mech. You want to be able to have sustainability, so after you take a team fight, you can continue. And the likelihood of them just leaving all the kills in one lane is actually relatively big as well. He can just solo push right now. There's no stopping him unless they commit just about everyone. And when you see everybody's missing on the map, it's a pretty good sign for you to just back off.
It usually is as well, and if they went or tried to go for a smoke gank of their own, they wanted to go for Chony, but Chony backs off just in time. As Fu, he gets pinged out. They had some vision with him with the Observer Ward. A pretty nice one as well, pretty deep into the enemy jungle. So Myth, in theory, they want to be aggressive and just try to still keep Chony at bay on the Anti-mage, but so far they haven't gotten any kills after that one kill in the mid lane. So Chony, he's about 1.2k away from just getting his Battle Fury. Although even if he gets that, it's still going to be a pretty long time before he actually becomes just relevant, really.
Yeah, indeed. Until he gets, say, either a BKB or Manta style, he's still gonna get wiped pretty fast in the face of a Skywrath Mage plus the Earthshaker. And I guess Myth Trust, not only can they push, but they can also play passively. This will simply just they can simply buy time for Mineski to make the errors themselves. If they see multiple heroes on different lanes, that might just be an easy pick-off. Nature's Prophet, he's making a blade mail. He's gonna come in and just say, oh, let's actually look at the top lane. The hook is coming out. It's gonna hook Lakelz. Lakelz is getting silenced up. Oh, he's getting bursted down real fast. And that's an easy kill for Afu.
Oh god, he lost so much gold there as well. I think he actually had enough gold for the ultimate orb, but just didn't purchase it up as... Oh, what? Might get caught as well. The Sprout comes out. He stole the Viper Strike and MiPro, what? He's not going close enough. His pathing, I'm not too sure why he went for that, but... Oh, what? He's actually gonna survive. There's the Cogs as well. They're even gonna get the Nature's Prophet mech. Will it be enough? I don't think so. I have my doubts. Oh wow, he does survive in the end. Ice Armor helps out a little bit as well. SD in the meantime, killed off Death Prophet. Was it? No, never mind. It wasn't solo. Earthshaker helped out as well, but this gank on the bottom lane, it completely flopped. They didn't even kill the Rubick.
Wow, really questionable plays coming up from Myth Trust. They didn't even kill the Rubick, right? And then they give away 2 kills, one at top, one at bottom. Is this the beginning of a comeback? Well, 6.82, thank you for this patch.
To be honest, Myth, they weren't that far ahead for the kills to make that a big difference, I guess, but all in all, Myth, they just got way too overeager, and I still don't understand what Viper did there. Literally, the Sprout happened like here, Rubick was caught, and Viper just was running into the trees here, then running into the trees here, and finally went past the trees to actually right-click. That was a really questionable movement.
Yeah, and one of the things that I am not really understanding from Myth Trust is traditionally, if you look at the map and you look at the towers right now, the situation is firmly in Myth Trust control, right? They should have control of the opponent's jungle, but the warding is still largely towards the river, and this is not what I would have expected because, hey, look at it. You've taken all of the tier 1 towers. Oh my god.
Just burst that Chain Frost silence Sukuchi to get the kill from Rubick himself. Chain Frost, of course, will be on cooldown, but Johnny, he gets his Battle Fury, but he blinks into the Mystic Flare Fisher combination. Oh god, they thought so much, but Fu, he comes in, Battery Assault, Fog, easy kill onto ST, or is it the mech comes out, MiPro, trying to help out a little bit, Blade Mail activated though. They're gonna be just fine as, oh, their Prophet, he pops his Exorcism, they're gonna chase down Noki, maybe the Fisher is there, never mind, Telekinesis, thrown back into the Death Prophet. And it's just 3 heroes down. They did lose the Anti-mage for, well, Anti-mage didn't really do anything in that fight, but still excellent fight for Mineski.
Well, the lead has completely evaporated over the course of, say, 2 minutes. I don't know if the pause has affected the game a lot, but it seems like Mineski have their thoughts cleared up, and, well, they're doing great. Right now, they've been able to find the pickoffs. They've gotten a 3-to-1 trade. And down at bottom, what's happening? Sure, Johnny died, but it's worth it, right? Oh, Johnny, he's in a lot of trouble. He gets sprouted out, but just blinks away.
Oh, but
and the hook happens.
Not the best hero to go for, though. Yes, Blade Mail is there, but I actually think Fu just took a bigger bite than he can chew, really. And there's Skywrath Mage gonna come in as well. Easy kill onto the Clockwork. Huge kill there as well, but can they get the Death Prophet Mystic Flare? Can he TP out in time? Yes, he can, just barely. Really clutch TP there. And Earthshaker was just a little bit too far away.
Yeah, and there we saw the nerf of the Skywrath Mage's ultimate. If it hasn't gotten nerfed, that would have guaranteed a kill, 100%. But yeah, the delay got reduced, got increased 2.4 seconds. So I mean, sucks to be you, Skywrath Mage. And right when Mineski feels like they're making a comeback, then they start giving away kills again. And now it's a pretty good time for Myth Trust to start just grouping up and pushing the bottom tier 2 tower. Well, Johnny, he's happily farming away. He's finally getting some space, and maybe, possibly by that boots of his, No, it's not gonna be boots. It's gonna be a pure split pushing Vladimir's offering coming out.
Who needs boots? It's like Weaver can. Oh, the hookshot actually misses. Somehow they dodge it. Blade Mail activated on Nature Prophet as well, but his Cogs, never mind. The silence is there just perfectly from the Ancient Seal. Lakel is gonna get stunned up as well. No casualties from either side so far. And MiTH can just keep on pushing now. And Rubick, oh, with the Wrath of Nature almost got him with the Swarm helping out.
Right now, the Clockwork seems to be the bane of MiTH Trust's lineup, and this does bring a little bit of a question to mind. Does MiTH Trust want to invest in some Force Staffs and to just save teammates, or get out of trouble themselves?
I would think so. You can see SD is already going for one as well. Wouldn't be surprised if Earthshaker went for a Force Staff instead of a Blink, really, even. Just to be on the safe side. Definitely not as good initiation-wise as the Blink Dagger would be, but Force Staff, just like you said, to help out people just getting out of cogs or getting out of any kind of trouble, really.
With every passing minute, though, Anti-mage is farming away.
It's definitely. Oh, the hookshot this time around, it lands as well onto the Nature Prophet. Should be an easy kill, really. Blade Mail, Wars going out. The Chain Frost is there as well. Mystic Flare. They get a 1-for-1 so far. Fisher onto my Pro Chain Frost. Comes back to the creeps. So not too much hero damage done. A 1-for-1. I still think it favors Mineski just because Nature Prophet, if you can keep him down, you won't have to worry about just like massive red Dota or something.
But to be honest, that feels like it's a pretty big misplay from the Nature's Prophet. As a Nature's Prophet, when you're up against a Clockwork, you should always use your Treants to protect you. Especially, he saw the Rocket Flare. He knows what angle the hook is coming in. The Treant should be in front so that if Afu decides to hook, he's going to be hooking into a Treant and not a hero.
That's actually a really valid point to make. I'm not too sure how he used his Treants there because I didn't really focus on it. Did he just send all of his Treants to the tower and like, YOLO, we're going for a push?
Yeah, pretty much. And Death Prophet just clears them with a Crypt Storm.
Oh,
Since they don't have any magic resistance anymore.
Sad life if you're a MiTH fan at the moment, just because Mineski, look at Johnny, look at the network. He will soon enough surpass Lakel's, who, wow, look at his items. He went for the Perseverance, but now he's going for a BKB instead. And Mystic Flare, oh, you'll set the Death Prophet gonna stay alive for a little while longer. Fisher, it got stolen, forced them towards the wrong side. Unfortunately, Death Prophet not gonna be able to outrun them. Oba gonna get caught as well on the Rubick. Do they have Sprout or anything? But the hookshot catches 3 heroes, are you kidding me? Lakel's, he gets out with a time lapse. SD still gonna lose his life, I think. The right clicks, bad result. Fu will go down in return, so at least he helps Rubick escape. Not too sure if it was really worth it. But man, those exchanges, but still Lakel's, he's going for a BKB now.
Yeah, but let's never forget the Lone Wolf. He is starting to rack in items. And finally, the boots at 22 minutes. Hooray, celebration is in place. He's going to continue split pushing. The bottom tier 1 should be quite easy for him. And if he can bait out someone to go back and defend the tier 1 tower, that would be great. I mean, Anti-mage, that's what he does best, split pushing all day long. But right now, there are several heroes that actually surpasses him in doing this particular strat.
The tower will go down. Some TPs are coming in. Fisher onto Owa. Lakel's, he wants to go aggressive. They have the gem onto Lich as well, but Lakel's just gets the time lapse away. Telekinesis? No, never mind. Owa, not gonna be fast enough. Actually, Easy yields. He needs to get the telekinesis immediately. He's not gonna get it though. He pops the dust a little bit too late, so Kuichi to chase Lakel's down. Runs the wrong direction. And suddenly, everybody's safe.
And Johnny continues to flash farm. Nobody's keeping him in check, but right now, SD, nope. They thought they had him.
Just look at the last hits, 152 on Johnny, and he got almost nothing as SD. Oh, another hookshot, but Fu, he wants to escape immediately himself. Blade Mail is there, but now it wears off Mystic Flare. It's gonna be 1-for-1. Clockwork, to be honest, he started the game really well, although they might get another kill here. MyPro dropping low mana, Chain Frost expanded, just to get the slows. And look at the Fissures. Actually, for like 1 or 2 seconds, the double Fissures covered all of this area.
And all of a sudden, Mineski just feels like, hey, all of the lead that MiTH had earlier is completely negated. We're gonna go for a quick Roshan. Lakel's comes in. Oh, who is he attacking? Turns on the BKB, and he's gonna drop. Nope. The Death Prophet is still alive, and Johnny is in the back trying to kill Nokimon. But what's happening right now? It's a huge chaotic fight. Lakel's, he's still trying to chase down the Lich. And on the other side, the Anti-mage, Johnny, he's trying to finish up the Roshan, but he can't do so. Lakel's is in place, forcing Johnny to blink away. So now this Roshan, with only 1,000 HP left, is it going to go down to MiTH Trust? Oh man, this is just ridiculous.
Oh, man, oh, the hookshot is there. Can he snatch the Aegis? It's still on the ground. Earthshaker gets to pick it up just before his death, but he still got luck kills as well. This hookshot was so good. If only he had been able to snatch the Aegis himself. Now Fu trying to go for the escape. Rubick even buys back into this game. They want to go for something more, but man, this hookshot, getting the kill onto Lakel's, making it so that he won't pick up the Aegis, and getting rid of the Aegis as well at the same time. Oh god, just clockwork, keeping his team alive. Not, well, I guess it's maybe an overstatement there, because Mineski have been doing well anyway the past couple of minutes, but it's still pretty huge just we were not having the Aegis.
Yeah, and right now, Afu, he's getting extremely tanky. Already has a Vanguard, and if he completes the Crimson's Guard, so much of the right click that MiTH has just goes to ashes. It's not going to do anything. But funny enough, MiTH, I would have expected them to somehow, I don't really know from where, because none of the heroes seem to suit it very much, but somehow whip out a Crimson Guard of their own. It's really good against Death Prophet. The ultimate, I don't know if it blocks. I think it doesn't, right? If it does, then that would be perfect. I mean, this is all theory crafting. I don't know if it's real or not, if it works or not, but if it does block the Death Prophet's ultimate, right, then it would be absolutely broken.
As far as I know, it doesn't, but...
Oh, that sucks. Bummer.
So, I'm not too sure if it's... or if it wouldn't have been better to go for a mech, for example, for their team, since nobody has it. Mech would be armor, some armor at the very least, towards the entire team as well. And just get the burst heal going, but I guess Crimson Guard, it's not a bad item. Not too sure just how much effect it will have here.
And seems like MiTH, they're gonna group up for a mid push. Oh man.
What? Oh, the Rubick trying to sneak himself in with the Sukuchi. Rocket flares come out as well. Is he gonna go for it? I think he is. Never mind. Just runs through them. Telekinesis finally is there. They need some extra damage. Exorcism popped from the Death Prophet, but everybody's just escaping. Or are they? They need to catch Fu, or Fu needs to get the hookshot, gets the coax onto anybody. Can he catch him? Yes, 2 heroes caught. There's the Chain Frost as well. It's gonna be perfect, I think. Lakel's though, he actually managed to drag the Chain Frost away for his team. Into the creep wave though. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Nature Prophet for Clockwork. There's the just Viper Stack onto Owa. Another telekinesis. Lakel's time lapse. He's still alive. Gonna go for the Death Prophet. It's just a matter of chasing him down. Johnny though comes in. Is he gonna have enough? Lakel's, he's back enough. Another Sukuchi will escape just before the silence comes out. So in the end, it's a 2-for-1 as Death Prophet, he runs back in. Yes, he's gonna get some health back from the Exorcism, back to full HP. But still, fight favoring MiTH. They also got the tower.
Wow, this gem on the ledge is really hindering Lakel's ability to be able to engage in the team fights. He wants a Sukuchi in, he wants to go through people and deal the damage necessary, but he just can't do so. Every time he gets near, he's gonna get sliced down by the power of the Anti-mage and Death Prophet alone. And it was really lucky for MiTH right there that Lakel's managed to drag away the Chain Frost from the rest of his team.
I just thought the 2 guys in the cogs are gonna get absolutely wrecked by the Chain Frost, but yeah, really nicely done with the BKB getting out, although he still died. I didn't even notice it mid-fight, but he actually bought back and time-lapse back into the fight. So, looking at the net worth suddenly, Anti-mage 11,000 and Bertie Weaver at 8.8.
Ooh. Anti-mage is definitely starting to pull ahead. And if we look at the graphs right now, just the XP, it's already definitely favoring Mineski's way. And in terms of the economy, it's getting dragged back real fast.
Well, it's safe to say Mineski, they are doing exactly what is necessary when you're running an Anti-mage. And Anti-mage, he hasn't been joining too many fights, but his split push has been rather effective, at least for himself, getting the amount of farm that he is. And once he finishes up a meta style, I think he's gonna be kind of battle ready. He can make sure that the Ancient Seal just doesn't completely kill him off, although he might be in some trouble, although never mind, blinks away in time. So 20 to 18 is the kill score. Looking at the graphs as well, it's still about a 1000 net worth lead for MiTH. XP 4,500 or so towards the side of Mineski. So it's rather even still. Viper picks up a BKB of his own. They can definitely still fight, but this Anti-mage, he's becoming a real threat soon.
Oh man, another pause. Well, I guess this pause is alright in the sense that both teams can just cool down and think about their game plan. For example, MiTH, do they want to finish this game fast, or do they really want to drag the game late? Because ultimately, Anti-mage, he's going to get 6 slotted real fast. And then he just caps. He's not going to be doing anything anymore after that. After that, it's going to be the supports. And the supporting cast, you gotta favor MiTH Trust. The heroes just scale way better into the late game. And Scarab Mage is a support who has just about infinite potentials, and then you can also get into the Earthshaker. Earthshaker, he might be able to become the one-shot wonder that he has the potentials for, or he can go for like Refresher and just go for the ultimate chain stunning combo there is. But at the same time, Nature's Prophet, if they wanted to, if the game plan is heading towards a mid game, going for the Maelstrom doesn't seem to help very much. Whereas, say, if he had Force Staff and Necrobooks, it might have kept them alive several more times. For example, if he's getting clogged by the Clockwork and he summons the Necrobooks, it might just buy him enough time so that he can TP away or just simply walk away. And just additional targets, say with the Treants as well as the Necrobooks, Lich's Chain Frost, sure, it's going to bounce more, but the likelihood of the Chain Frost bouncing onto you is significantly reduced.
I kind of have to agree with you there as well. It's just, maybe it's kind of a... You've played that hero so many times, and you've gone for the same build so often that you don't really even think or consider the other options, maybe. It's something that I see every now and then when players are just so keen to go for that one certain item build and just fail to make the most optimal decisions regarding the situation around them. Maybe it's that, maybe they feel like they don't need the Force Staff and just Necrobook or anything like that on the Nature's Prophet. And, well, look, speaking of items anyway, we can look at the bigger item pickups at the moment. Blink Dagger is there on Earthshaker, definitely a huge item pickup. Does he have the level 2 Echo Slam? Yes, he does. We've yet to see a huge Echo Slam, I think, unless I completely missed one. So... And Jesse Vash, he's held on to the gem for a really long time. Not too sure if Lich is the best hero to just hang on to the gem, to be honest, since he wants to stay at the back lines anyway most of the time. But really whatever works out for them. Although, look at the map vision so far. They've had the gem, yet pretty much all the wards, not all the wards, but literally all the wards but this one here on the bottom side for the Dire. It's full of just sentries and observers for the MiTH side.
Yeah, they still haven't found an answer to the gem because Jesse Vash is playing so defensively. He's always in the very back of the fight, and he only decides to rotate forward whenever, say, a fight erupts and it's already halfway through. All the skills are thrown, and he feels safe to come closer. That's also partially MiTH Trust's lineup's fault. They're not very good at, say, just cutting in like a Clockwork, just cutting into the midst of a fight. The only person who can potentially do that right now is the Earthshaker, but Earthshaker, it's better to hold onto it so that like all the opponents are clumped up, and then you go for the big Echo Slam, go for your full combo. But apart from him, there's nobody ready to initiate. The Viper, it's not one of those, say, very aggressive Vipers with the Blink Daggers. The Nature's Prophet, he's far from anything that allows him to initiate. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger, he doesn't have a Sheep Stick, and with that being said, Lich is going to have an easy time standing in the back. And you got to give it to the Rubick as well. Oh, he's been making plays, just like Sukuching in, stealing great spells, and then just force staffing himself out. And in the mid fight right now, the mid fight that we saw earlier in front of the Mineski tier 2 tower, that was initiated by the Rubick initially. He went in, he wasted Fissure, and then the Clockwork just had an easy time walking up and clogging 2 people into the fight. So, right now, Mineski, it feels like their lineup struggled hard in the beginning, but their skills are really making up for it.
I just 100% agree with you that Rubick, he's been, all in all, been playing really good the entire game. Early on, he got that fast level 6 with some nice rotations, but we might see a fight Death Prophet. He goes for the silence, gets 2 heroes. There's the hookshot as well onto SD, should be an easy kill, or never mind, the Force Staff out. Excellently done, but Fissure now, he's blocked himself in. He will step onto the Viper as well, might be an easy kill. He pops the BKB, goes for the TP out. Smart choice as well. Oh, Johnny, he wanted to go for the mana void to still stop it. Couldn't quite get it.
Oh man, you even heard the sound. You heard that swoosh, and then it didn't come out. And this might just end up becoming Rat Dota for MiTH Trust. Just a constant split pushing, and then maybe just turning on BKB to TP away. Doesn't seem like there's any other way.
I hope it doesn't come down to that. I really, from the bottom of my heart, hope that it won't come to just BKB split push.
Hey, don't forget, we're we're right now in the phase of 6.82C, and this is the bladder gaming era. You gotta have a strong bladder, and with all the pauses we had, right now we've been sitting here for about an hour or so. Has it been that long?
I
Well,
think
this
it
game
has
certainly
been
has felt that
pretty much
long.
an hour since the game started. Oh yeah, it's actually been a little bit more than an hour even since the draft started.
Well, this is definitely bladder gaming on its way. We're only 30 minutes into the game, and this game, look at the pace we had starting from the beginning. We had around 8 kills in 4 minutes, and right now we have 38 kills in 30 minutes. So the pace has definitely slowed down. Mineski, they're biding the time to drag the game late. In MiTH Trust, they've tried forcing things up. It hasn't worked out for them. So now they're gonna sit back and just slowly farm up the carries. Because Weaver going to the ultra late game, right? It's actually not that bad against Anti-mage. Anti-mage, to lock down the Weaver with the Lincolns, you're gonna have to expend that Abyssal. And Weaver, if it does go late enough, he can get Abyssal as well. Weaver is actually a pretty good hero to have Abyssal on. Sure, your bash potentials are only like 10%, but it's increased exponentially because you have the Gemini attack. And just the amount of damage that Abyssal brings to a hero like Weaver is pretty significant.
Oh wow. Is he even going for a Lincolns? That's the question. He's had the Perseverance, but now he's picked up a Whirlpool Hammer, so looks like he thinks that his BKB will be enough defensively and just go for straight off Desolator. But that just means I guess Perseverance, even a casual one, isn't the worst item. Weaver definitely wants some kind of mana regeneration as well. But do you think him going for Lincolns would have been better than just going for Perseverance and BKB after that, or is it just fine?
Right now I feel it's fine because the only person who can really get to him is the Rubick. And sure, Rubick you can Sukuchi over with a lift, but the follow-ups just isn't enough to kill him. And he can always BKB and TP out, unless, well actually no, there's several things that can break BKB in this game. BKB TPs. But at the very least...
things. That's pretty sick, to be honest.
Yeah, I looked at it and I was like, it doesn't seem very significant. It's
oh, the blink! Mystic Flare is watching, he's gonna go down, or is it the Mantastar? He gets the blink out, are you kidding me? Full with the hookshot, just buying that millisecond of time for the Anti-mage to survive. He will scepter up onto SD as well. Oh, the backlines. They didn't get the sniper now, Nation Prophet. He's in such a bad position, or is he? JC Vice goes for the Chain Frost, it does bounce up a little bit. But the Blade Mail actually brings Lich even lower as Lakill. He wants to dive. He's gonna get this wall. One right click. That's all they need. A gem on the ground. Won't be able to claim that as joining. He's back in the fight. Lakill's Mana Void. It comes out. They get the kill. So in the end, only 2 supports go down for Mineski. But Weaver 80 seconds on the sidelines. 80 freaking seconds.
That was some beautiful predictions, knowing that the Weaver, he's gonna backtrack out of it, and they just waited at his position. And look at it down at the bottom. Nature's Prophet, he's getting sliced up by Johnny, and Johnny moves way faster than the Furion. Oh, no! Kill! Oh, we saw that, Afu! That was a kill steal from Afu. A beautiful kill steal, to be honest.
Oh, but Death Prophet, he doesn't have a TP. Yule Scepter not gonna help at all. 4-staff, nicely done by SD, making Death Prophet go into an even worse position. My pro, he dropped pretty low, but it's not gonna be enough. Rocket Flare, yeah, it's not gonna be enough either. He bottled up a little bit between. So Death Prophet does die, but in the meantime Clockwork also, I think he denied a tier 2 bottom lane, I think it was. So in the end, not all that bad, but still Lakill's dying, just the biggest thing, and Johnny getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh man, it was so close. Johnny, he almost died twice in that fight. First of all, your camera definitely caught the Earthshaker plus the Skywrath Mage, but it was after the blink, the Nature's Prophet TP'd in. He went for the first right click, and while the second right click was in midair, Johnny blinks away for the second time, saving his life. Gets away by the skin of his teeth.
By the way, physical damage, it's gonna have almost no effect to the Anti-mage. He's already sitting on 19 armor. Make it so that Lich can also apply another +9 with the ice armor. Really, physical damage not gonna do too much to an Anti-mage. Thanks to the spell shield, even magical damage has limited effects. We still saw that, yes, he can very much so be bursted down. Although if he goes, for example, a heart next, all of a sudden, what's gonna kill him?
Oh, you gotta think about it long and hard, and right now there's nothing.
They have sentries down, the Fisher comes out, Mystic Flare as well on top of the Clockwork's head. Breath of Nature to bounce around, they do get the kill. He just got completely baited in.
Man, unlucky. He was such a tank. He was such a baller early game, but he's already peaked. Clockwork is not a hero that's all that great around this 30-minute mark. But towards
Maybe if you have
endgame,
Aganims, but he's just
oh
so
man,
far away from it. And Crimson Guard kind of been like a meh item pickup so far.
yeah. It's actually really fun to play Clockwork when you have Aghanims, Blink Dagger, and Force Staff. Like, you hook in and instantly blink away. And if you can't blink, you Force Staff away. And so you just constantly, when you're defending towers, or like when you're pushing, you just hook the opponent, blink away, hook the opponent, blink away.
Well, Desolator was finished on the Weaver before that kill on the Clockwork already, and thanks to that, really easy and fast Roshan for themselves. So they're gonna have the Aegis this time around. Clockwork of course was dead, couldn't go in for the hookshot or anything to stop it and get rid of the Aegis immediately like last time. But Death Prophet also tanking up himself, has a plate mail plus the Heart of the Rask finished. So going for Shiva's next most likely. And whoa, a BKB picked up on Anti-mage. He wants to make damn sure that he will not die to just magical damage.
There's actually not that much lockdown though right now. There's only an Earthshaker who can really keep him in place. And that's only, what, 3 stuns max? And with a heart, it's much harder to tell which one's the real anti-mage. But the moment you turn on the BKB, I mean, you're just giving it away. Sure, like, BKB, it guarantees that in the middle of a fight, you'll be able to dish out your damage output and you won't get chain stunned. But is it... I don't know. It feels like he's not really engaged in the fights, and he's just doing most of the split pushing. I would have felt a heart into Abyssal would have been great for the style that he's been playing so far.
I would have liked the heart as well more, I think, just because, first of all, heart will always be good for you. You're gonna tank up your illusions as well if it really comes down to that for your split pushing and whatnot. As well as BKB, you might not even get it off if it happens like last time. For example, Earthshaker just blinks onto you with the Echo Slam and just stun locks you. So it's... I feel like Manta style should be enough to get rid of the Ancient Seal anyway. And just hard to tank it up, because with the heart, I really doubt that just the Sky of Mage and the Earthshaker will be enough, just magical damage wise, to get the kill.
I guess another important factor about the BKB is that if you do go for the BKB, you're probably just watching out for the South of Ice that the Nature's Prophet is heading towards. I guess it's a pretty decent choice after all. I mean, they both have their own justifications. Some people prefer the heart, some people prefer the BKB, but ultimately, I feel like Anti-mage, he's more suited towards the split pushing, and it would be great if he had items that helps him solo kill, so whilst keeping himself alive. So what comes to mind is he definitely needs an Abyssal at some point.
I would think so as well. Just Abyssal overall, a really great item just because it boosts up your damage by so much as well. Never mind. Chisivash, he went towards Lakels, and oh, look at Cheshi as well. He's picked up a buckler, bonus armor, yes, it's gonna be nice. But going for like a 40+ minute mech, I guess better late than never, maybe?
True, and even the buckler itself, just offering additional armor in the middle of a team fight, it's not bad. Just stacking on the amazing amount of armor they already have.
Wow. I just looked at the current gold list, and my pro sitting on 4k gold on the Viper. What item is he gonna go for next? Is he maybe even building up for something like an AC tank up against the physical damage of Exorcism, plus of course the Anti-mage as well? Or what should he go for? Aghanim Scepter still can be built as well?
Aghanim Scepter is gonna be pretty good, I guess, since it's great for kiting. Anti-mage, sure, you have a BKB, but you're still gonna get slowed. And that might just be able to... Sure, and there's a blink as well, right? But ultimately, blink does have a cooldown, and if you get your Viper strike on in between, there's a pretty good chance they can kite him around. Until he gets Abyssal, of course.
So, Anti-mage, he is now 7,000 net worth ahead of the highest one on MiTH. And, well, the highest one on his own team as well, for that matter, pretty much, the Death Prophet. Is this gonna be enough, though? Is the Anti-mage gonna be enough up against the tri-core that MiTH are running? I mean, Death Prophet, he's a pretty strong hero as well. But I don't think he's at the stage where Mineski would have liked him to be 39 minutes in. And Lakels, he's picked up a Demon Edge as well. Is this a Monkey King bar or Daedalus?
Oh, Lakels. This, I don't know, it might be a preemptive he might just hold on to the money and see what the anti-mage makes before deciding to fully purchase up his items, and of course save money for buyback. And right now we're gonna have an engagement. Nope, Johnny TP's out safely, and so does Lich. I mean, it's not so bad to hold on to the money, because Daedalus is gonna be great since the tweak on the Gemini attack allows you to get multiple crits. But at the same time, if the anti-mage is going for, say, a butterfly, you definitely want the MKB to remove all the evasion possible.
I think MKB preemptively definitely wouldn't be a bad choice, just because Anti-mage is such a great hero to have the butterfly on. Get the extra attack speed for the illusions, tank it up, and just... I don't know if he's gonna go for it though. I still think Abyssal Blade for Anti-mage is gonna be excellent, and look at the Viper, he's going for a Heart of Tarrasque. I'd like to say I do not agree with this item choice.
And that was part of the reason why I was giggling. I was like, whoa.
Oh, Blink Echo Slam, but the hookshot is there. They're going to knock him on. Telekinesis up as well. They pop the Crimson Scar. Should be able to make it out of there. And this Echo Slam just almost did nothing to Johnny.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, they get the use onto the kills, but the kills is it. Oh, no, never mind. Aegis has already expired. Oh, Ova tried to blink in, get the telekinesis. Never mind, telekinesis was on cooldown. So, not too sure what the blink was meant to accomplish, but they are going for the push. They have the exorcism. Earthshaker without the Echo Slam. Even if he had buyback, he wouldn't have Echo Slam. So, Mineski, they should feel rather safe pushing this.
Wow, just standing there. Look at Mineski's heroes. If you're clicking on them right now, they have just super high amounts of armor. Anti-mage with 33. Oh, and the Viper Strike gets dodged.
Johnny goes balls deep. Over, can't get the telekinesis. Finally gets it onto SD. Gonna get an easy kill onto that one hero, but the kills with my pro. They are BKB'd up. Death Prophet, don't go in too deep by yourself. He's just gonna be fine. H Prophet wants to come in as well. Huge mistake. Pop the Blade Mail, buys some time. But I think he's still gonna go down. Ghost, Mana Void, Johnny gets the kill. His TP was so optimistic, but they might get Death Prophet. Nope! Dodged by the Yule Scepter. Ghost will clear off Noki as well. Silence not all kills with the telekinesis. Death Prophet, run for your life. Gonna get slowed down. Will die there as well, but not before they clean up like hell. This exorcism just pretty much wrecked the entire lineup of MiTH.
Yeah, indeed. And one of the key things is Johnny didn't die, so just life stealing away with his Vladimir's offering. Now he can start pushing.
7.2k on Johnny.
Yeah, and now he can start pushing the tier 3 because nobody's stopping him. It's a Viper, sure, but the Viper Strike should be on cooldown, right? Oh no, it's off cooldown. So he can defend, but does he really want to go up against Johnny as well as Arfu all by himself?
Will the Viper Strike even be enough? SD actually comes in as well, maybe if they get the silence by Johnny. Yeah, immediate Manta style, doesn't care at all. Tier 3 down, gonna go for Rex as well. Maybe should go for the safer one, but they have 10 seconds of free time. Weaver has buyback, Nature Prophet did have as well, but oh, the hookshot, foo! He wants to go for SD, who just 4 steps out. Johnny, he's back as well, he wants to get the melee Rex, because they will regen up, of course. In the end, though, gonna be forced to back off. I just would have maybe liked them to go for range Rex, go for the safe Rex and back off.
And just for the record, I felt like if Johnny had a heart, that would have been an easy Rex. He would have had the life regen that was necessary. Sure, Vladimir's is great, but it just feels like if he had just that much more HP to be able to stand there and just hit the Rex before having to leave, that could have been it, you know, that could have been the melee.
I tend to agree with you there as well. Oh, look at Shisivash. They're eyeing the Nature's Prophet. They want to go for him. Actually, Death Prophet picks up a Sheepstick now. Nature's Prophet going Chain Frost. Yes, it cancels the TP first. Will additional stuns arrive? They need the Hex. Yules. Oh, just there in time. Last millisecond. Chup an easy kill. Hookshot to follow. Silence is there as well. They do get the kill. And just... it was literally on the edge. First the Chain Frost, then the Yules.
And... to be honest, another thing just appeared to my mind. Don't forget this patch, right? BKB got a pretty significant nerf. You can't rebuy BKBs anymore, so they'll be stuck permanently on a 5-second BKB. And I'm not too sure that's what you really want in a magic immune item. So like 5-second BKB, that might just keep you long enough to dish out some damage in the fight. But Earthshaker, pretty sure he can hold on to his spell for 5 seconds, you know. It's not that big a deal.
It's really kind of... you're gonna have to be fast enough to pop the BKB when he blinks in. Although, how we can manage that when the Earthshaker is going for a straight off Echo Slam, it is beyond me really. But so far though, at the anti-mage, Johnny hasn't been forced into the BKB all that many times, still has a 9-second one. And before it even gets down to 5 seconds, the game might already be over now with his butterfly finished, but he has another 4,000 gold. He has 27,000 net worth, next highest 17,000.
The power of the flash farmer. And now Lakel's pretty certain now he's going to be heading towards a MKV. Once he has an MKV, sure, he can start hitting Johnny pretty hard and fast. But with all the additional armor that Lich provides, and just with all the backup support they have, Afu with the Crimson Guard, and there's already the Scythe of Ice as well as Your Scepter on the Death Prophet. They're ready to fight. Mineski is definitely ready here. But what can MiTH Trust do right now?
Well, yo, Lakel's. I thought like, is he gonna save for buyback? No, straight off Monkey King bar. They know that if they can't bring down the anti-mage, they can't just possibly win the fight either. So he's gonna have the Monkey King bar, and actually he hurts quite a lot when he has that. Well, he already hurts quite a lot, but with the Monkey King bar even more so. But Johnny, he's in the Roche pit with the Death Prophet. He's gonna blink out, BKB activated, gonna go for the Noki. Nice 4-step to the high ground though. My pro, he wants to go for the Death Prophet, but his BKB, it's not there for too long. Exorcism activated as well. They need some kind of slows though. Exorcism, yes, it can be used to go for Roshan, but I think they would have wanted to go for the fight. Johnny tries to come in from behind, and oh, H Prophet he actually finished his TP straight into the anti-mage. Gonna get taken out. No mana void even necessary for that. One more right click, Johnny. He gets the kill in the back lines though. Exorcism cleaning up the rest of the heroes like kills. He's on the run. Gem of True Sight gonna be dropped down. Mystic Flare got the kill onto the Rubick, but never mind. Dual Scepter kills. Gonna go down to the physical damage. Or is he? Nope. Time lapse. He's still safe, but it's a 1-for-3 fight. Just Nature's Prophet TP in was absolutely horrible. I even thought they had vision there.
Oh man, that after that pretty sad trade, this Roshan with the cheese is gonna just go down to Mineski. So it doesn't, at this point I just feel like it doesn't really matter who takes the Aegis and who takes the cheese. It's come to the point where Mineski, they're just completely overwhelming MiTH, and MiTH, they're pretty much left with nothing, you know, like they just can't fight straight up. They can't even go for their split push because of the anti-mage, as well as just the amount of people who can catch them at this point, you know. There was a phase where it feels like 12 minutes into the game, they were in firm control. They could have done a lot more, but they decided to take a step back, and then in fact they gave away a couple of kills. A couple of bad team fights is all it takes for this game to turn the tables.
Yeah, and as we saw, that's exactly what happened as well. MiTH, they were a little bit too complacent in just their tri-core lineup. I would have understood maybe if they had like Hand of Midas running, just because since they were so passive, they didn't find all that much farm on the map. And of course not shutting down Johnny as well. I think he got a 16.5 minute or 16 minutes 45 seconds kind of. The Battle Fury was finished. Of course he didn't have enough boots by then, but you can see where the anti-mage is now. It was a good enough timing for him as Lakel's Hex comes out. There's the silence as well. Telekinesis, they're gonna need it. They get it. But they just don't have the damage. Hookshot, it's into a creep. Lakel's, he does make it out. BKB, TP out. He's gonna be just fine. Lich not gonna be fast enough, unfortunately, for the Chain Thrust. But even if he makes it out, it's not like anything huge was used from Mineski.
Oh man, but it feels like, look at Anti-mage, he's 6 slotted with 3k HP. What's there to take him down? And let's not forget, there's the Lich's armor. And now Afu, he has a fully completed, there you go, Assault Cuirass. That's another 5 additional armor. And man, he is just like the ultimate fighting machine right now. People can attack him all they want, but it's just not going to do anything. Look at Lakel's down at bottom, trying to chop out Johnny. Takes a couple of blows, loses a third of his HP and most of his mana. Realizes, man, I just can't fight this guy anymore.
His farm rate is just way too ridiculous compared to the rest of the heroes in the game. And even the Death Prophet is pulling out the head of the or any of the cores of MiTH. He still has the plate mail as well. I guess a casual plate mail, soon to be turned into a Shivas. It really has to be Shivas now that they have an AC anyway. Sheepstick, of course, I think it was the better item pickup anyway before the Shivas maybe, as Sheepstick is there on H Prophet. If they can't win with this, they can't win, period. Oh, but the hookshot, it catches 2 heroes, are you kidding me? Exorcism, they're just gonna get crushed, or are they? Hex onto Noki. My pro pops his PKB. Lakel's comes in as well with the Mystic Flare, they're gonna bring down Fu. Nope, the cheese is there. He is still alive. Johnny gonna get hexed up by the H Prophet. But I don't think it's gonna be enough, as Johnny just gonna go for the Rax, BKB activated. Yeah, gonna take Rax, doesn't care about the kills all that much. The Prophet, oh, he's gonna get chased down. He had the ages, no exorcism when he comes back, but it's racks down, objective gaming. Although the Sprout onto the Death Prophet, no mythic version, he goes in Manta style, wow! Sky of Mage. He died within like 2 seconds, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Guys, Johnny, he's going to try to chase down Lakels. There's another Hex, it's already off cooldown, the silence is there. One more right click, Johnny. He cleans up house, no buyback on the Weaver. And this should be GG, I think.
Yeah, at this point, there's no stopping Johnny. He can just go man mode, you know, like just stay in the fountain. If his teammates make a Vlads, he can just sit there all he wants because he's got the evasion, he's got the HP, he's got the armor, he's got everything. This is... oh crap, there's a kill at mid, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Look at it, nobody dares to go near Johnny. In fact, the moment he comes over, everyone just starts running away.
Smart decision if you ask me. This Johnny is way too big. Viper Strike really doesn't do anything to him. Yes, he's going to take some damage, but in about 5 seconds time, going to reach and back up. Right? At least the tier 2 was still up, so they couldn't go for the third set of frag. Or at least not immediately, so... we might just have another couple of minutes of game time.
Well, I mean, this has to be over. I don't see any coming back from this. But I would love to. I mean, don't you feel those games where you just feel absolutely hopeless and there's nothing you can do? And there's just someone on your team that doesn't want to give up and you're like, oh, what a waste of time, you know? And then you end up turning the game around and it ends up being the best feeling of your life. It'd be sick if MiTH can actually pull this one off, but it doesn't look like it.
There's a small chance. Unfortunately, they don't have heroes like, for example, an Ember Spirit, just get a Rapier and crit everybody to death with one Sleight of Fist or something like that. Or maybe a Medusa with the split shots, just wrecking everybody. Even a PA, to be honest, with some couple of just nice crits. Unfortunately, they don't have anything along those lines. They don't have the best team fight even. They have the Echo Slam, but I fail to remember a time where we've seen like a multiple hero Echo Slam. But there's the Mystic Prayer Johnny. He just slowly walks his way out of the Mystic Prayer. BKB activated. He wants to go for the counters. Viper Strike is going to be enough of a slow to prevent him from going balls deep. But Exorcism is there. Can the Death Prophet catch up to anybody? Shiva's card will clip at least 3 enemy heroes. Blink in from Johnny. Gonna go for the Nature's Prophet. There's the Echo Slam, but completely whiffs more or less Lakels. Gonna get hexed up. Any time left. The silence just barely gets it off. The Dire Courier goes down in the meantime as well. 2,000 net worth on it. Hookshot already in cooldown as well. Oh, he comes in. Lakels. Telekinesis already used. Mana Void. Still not gonna be enough. Lakels barely makes it out with 150 HP. SD though, not gonna be as lucky, I think. Johnny should have enough movement speed to just chase down the Sky of Mage. Blink. Oh, Yules as well. Shiva's card will slow SD down, and that's the kill. Biggest thing, Lakels escaped in the end. Don't think it really matters.
Oh man, so Johnny, he's on a wicked kill streak, and with 577 last hits in 52 minutes, 8 kill, 2 death, 9 assists. He's got to really thank his teammates for creating just so much space. I feel like everybody on the side of Mineski just played it really, really well. Like from early game, I'm making all the beautiful rotations, and then hitting the mid game, we have Afu with the beautiful hooks. Just bought enough time to the point where...
Noki! Hexed up Johnny, gonna go for it. No Manoid. Actually, they forced that away from him. We were trying to go for something like kills. He just needs so much time to focus on somebody Death Prophet. Well, he's not taking all that much damage. My Pro is dropping low as well, but he gets the Viper Strike off. Hex onto Johnny. There's the Chain Frost finally coming through. Gonna bounce a couple of times, but now into the creeps it goes. Fu, Blade Mail activated. Nobody can damage him. No BKBs. Actually, never mind. Lakels, he has his BKB. Gonna bring down the Clockwork at the very least. Johnny, he blinks in aggressively. Gonna go for my Pro. He has the Mana Void. He connects on Lakels as well. He gets the time lapse off just barely. He does manage to survive, but there's the Hex. They need some stuns, anything. But objectives still gonna go down. Over. Blinks in aggressive telekinesis. The drop actually stuns up Lakels at the same time. They get the kill, and well, this is GG. It's Mega Creeps. 3 heroes down without buybacks. And Mineski, they advance to the playoffs as number 2 from Group A.
Oh man. Yeah, but just about to finish up what I was saying as well. The gem on the Lich, that was what killed it for Lakels. He just couldn't do anything in team fights, starting from the gem. So it's great plays from both sides, you know. Early game, well, MiTH Trust definitely looked like they had the game secure, but yeah.
Nice pause, Johnny, nice pause. Oh wow, pausing the game after the game ends. Fun times, but yeah, I have to agree. MiTH, they started off pretty good, just got a little bit too complacent. We're too happy about where the situation was. They knew Anti-mage was shut down, but he's not gonna stay shut down if you don't keep on focusing on him. So hopefully MiTH, for the next games in the future, they will know how to deal with an Anti-mage a little bit better. But in any case, guys, this is definitely not it for the day. We're gonna have 2 more games coming up. The next one will be NXL versus 85 Lila. We actually had that matchup yesterday as well, where 85 Lila did end up winning the game. But whoever wins that game will, I think, advance as number 2 from Group B and will face First Departure in the last game of today. So 2 more games coming up. Both of them will be best of 1. One of them for the group stage, one for the playoff. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. If you enjoyed, of course, be sure to follow us on this channel, as well as HeflaTV 2, our English channels for Dota 2 coverage on Twitch, and our social media HeflaTV on both Facebook as well as Twitter. Of course, the votes also will be uploaded onto the YouTube as fast as possible. So guys, just see you for the next game in about 30 minutes. And MiTH, any last words?
Oh, just looking more forward to more exciting games.
As am I, guys, so see you in the next game in about 30 minutes time.